Do you want the chance to win this 1987 Grand National? Head on over to JustinSwanson69.com or LSNasty.com. For every $1 you spend, gets you an entry to be able to take this thing home.
What do you mean no?
Because that don't get us nowhere.
Talking shit? It got me here. Talking shit got me here.
That's a good point.
Talking shit got me to this point.
You think so? I don't think
hell
you
yeah.
talk too much shit.
You have to be talking shit. If you're not talking shit, what are you doing? You're just one of the rest of them. Have you not got your ass whipped by an LS in a while? Well, if that's the case, I'm here to solve that problem for you. We are ready to split your wig with our brand new motor. We are going headfirst back into the hydraulic roller game.
I am back! What it do, baby?
We exited it. I thought I was gonna leave on top, and I did actually leave on top, but people are dragging me back into it, and I'm petty, so here we are. Just want to state the fact, the LS motor is great, but until you fire up a Turbo 481X or a screw-blown Hemi, no disrespect to my LS guys out there, but I think this is a fair statement, is it not? I mean,
You're comparing apples to oranges.
I mean, it's cool and all, but you gotta be an adult sometime, and I grew up. But I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna play with the kids, and we're gonna whoop some ass. Damn! What are we doing? We're trying to reset the hydraulic roller LS record, and we put ourselves a motor together. Somehow I roped Kevin Mullins, TCAM Performance, and Scott PIG Motorsports into this absolutely terrible idea, but I'm just like, let's do it for science. And we are, I've done the video series before. We're gonna make 2,000 horsepower for, I believe, $20,000 and under, which I think we're right on budget because we are using some used parts, some cheap parts, and some damaged then repaired parts, and then some spare parts off of the race program. Like when you buy a set of pistons for your race motor, you buy 2 sets, you buy some spares. So now we're using some spares. So we're gonna go over just the DNA of the future hydraulic roller LS motor. And no, it's not a billet block. And no, it does not have a single rocker arm. We're gonna use some of these fancy things. But one thing that I can tell you it's gonna do, it's either gonna go really fast or it's gonna blow up and we'll build another one and then we'll go really fast with that one. So there is no quit in me, and I may not financially recover from this, but if I go completely gray by the time I get it, we'll get it.
I am never gonna financially recover from this.
It's not an if, it's a when. So all right, let's break it down. Wrapped up in here, we have a LSR block. TCAM Performance did all the machine work. This was actually the first aftermarket block that we had. We had a bunch of bent rods and one broke rod, knocked the oil galley out of it, knocked the boss for the crank sensor off of it, so we welded that up. We're not running a crank sensor, we're gonna run a 12-1 wheel off of the front of the balancer. So this is a full-blown race motor. It's 428 cubic inches what the desired size will be when we're done. Just because we're using our spare pistons, which are a little bit larger than the 4125 bore. But it's pretty straightforward, just an aluminum LSR block. We had to put one new sleeve in there. It's welded on, it's been fixed. It's got all the TCAM machine work, the top fuel hoops. It doesn't have a roller thrust because I forgot to mention that, so that's my bad. So we'll know real quick if we're taking it apart to put a roller thrust in or not, if we get the converter charge pressure right. But yeah, this is a good block, 6-bolt block, half-inch head studs, just pretty much your standard. This is kind of what everyone's running. The Dart aluminum block's a good block, the LSR block's a good block. I think with the turbo combination we have, we're gonna be at the upper limits of what a cast aluminum block will do. So we're just going to run it, and if it splits down the middle like an A2 deck, we'll just put a block girdle on the next one and try it again. Pretty straightforward with the block, it's all wrapped up. I wanted to cut it open, but Scott told me no because we gotta keep it nice and clean like it is. So there's the block, pretty straightforward. Not a tall deck, standard deck. Don't have tall deck money, as you can tell. Speaking of not having money, we have an Ohio Speed crankshaft. This right here is what you call a $1,200 unit. Billet center counterweighted. No, it's not all shiny and polished up like Callie's Ultra Billet. I had a Callie's Ultra Billet in my last motor, and that thing was like a work of art. It was all knife edged and polished, and that thing just looked great. This thing here, we're going for more of like the work boots opposed to dress shoes type deal. So we're gonna slap this thing in there. I called him today and I said, hey, what do you rate this crank for? And with the high performance stuff, it's tough to really like give something a horsepower rating because who knows, right? You're just going off of what someone told you. He said, 2,000-ish is where they are. So give or take 1,000, we're going to find out. So if we make 3,000 with it, we have enough turbo to make 3,000. We'll see if this crank holds on. So this is actually one of the items that we purchased new. This was, like I said, just straight up called Ohio Crankshaft, said, hey, you have one on the shelf? They said, yes. I said, put it in the mail. I think it was 1,500 shipped to TKM. They balanced it, put some Mallory in it, so it's a little bit more expensive. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward, nothing crazy. No splined snout, just single keyway. No reluctor. Like I said, we're not running a reluctor off the back, so I know all you LS guys are like, well, how's it gonna, is it gonna be magic? No, we're gonna run a 12-1. All right. Up next, we have a set of used rods. This we account in the budget for $0 because you can go to someone's race program like mine after I get done running these for 300 passes and I say they're junk. You say how much? And I'm like, here, just take them because what good are they? We're going to see how many more they got in them. This is an MGP aluminum rod, 6125. This is the rod that set the hydraulic roller record once before, and hopefully it's got enough to do one more record in it. Pretty standard ARPL 19 bolts, just a big beefy aluminum rod. I like these. I run aluminum rods and everything. I drive on the street. All you gotta do is preheat your oil if you're going racing, or let the vehicle get up to operating temp before you start driving it or beating on it. Everyone's scared of these and says you can't drive them on the street. I can promise you this: the rod doesn't know whether it's on the street or the racetrack or in the driveway or in the trailer. It's just a rod, doesn't have a brain, so it doesn't know. But just drive them on the street. Don't be scared of them. The only thing is they're just big, so you have to clearance the block. The rod, we got that taken care of. The piston, fully skirted piston. This is a TKM Black Sheep unit right here. Pretty straightforward. I don't know what our compression is on this. Yes. The compression is yes. Just a fully skirted piston. When you run a fully skirted piston, you can't run the reluctor because when the piston comes down, it would hit it. So that's why a lot of guys in the race applications don't run a reluctor. Also, that kind of sucks. You're beyond that at this point. But this is just straightforward. This was our spare piston that we never had to use in the Black Sheep. So hopefully we don't have to order a set of spares for this. Pretty simple, 427 inch is like the go-to for a lot of the LS stuff. And this is just a fully skirted TKM. If you want these pistons, call up TKM. They keep them in stock. I guess the most important thing when you're doing this quest for a record is the lifter. This is a Johnson lifter, so this is like this and the camshaft are what the whole thing is just about. Pretty small, pretty tiny. These are actually quite a bit larger than the normal ones. This is a Johnson 904 lifter, so a little bit bigger. We had the block bored out for the 904. But yes, it is hydraulic, so that's the whole point of this. You can't do this with a solid roller. You have to use a hydraulic lifter. And honestly, is it still a hydraulic lifter at this point? Probably not. It acts more like a solid, but the cam profile is set up to be a hydraulic lifter. And yeah, I mean, we put a bunch of spring pressure on there, big ass push rod, treat it like solid roller, but there is no checking lash. You have to do preload, so it is a hydraulic roller deal. These are badass if you're doing hydraulic roller stuff. Whether you're street driving your car, my daily driver that I'm building has a set of Johnson Link bars in it. Our race cars have Johnson Link bars, and then we have the 904 and like our big shit. Chris, the Silverback Z06, extremely fast street car, has an aluminum rod and a set of Johnson lifters in it. This is your go-to if you're going to put a set of lifters in something. Buy once, cry once. Just put these in your motor and you'll be happy. I haven't ordered push rods yet. We're going to do some Manton 3-piece push rods because they are the best by far. I love the Manton stuff. Been running them and everything. But along with the valve train, we got a set of Jessel rocker arms. Again, I had these. These were off a set of a motor that was all blown up. So we got the rocker stands right here. Go for a matte black label head. And then the rockers. The rockers, not really much to talk about. It's just a chunk of aluminum. Me personally, I'm a T&D guy, but we had Jessels, and keeping it in the budget, we're just using what we have. I like the T&D stuff because it oils through the bar and then through the rocker itself, so that's a little bit better than just splash oiling. These are like, they just shoot oil at the top and shit splashes everywhere, and that's how it lubricates the push rod. So a little bit different, but I mean, seems to work. But I'm a snob. I like the T&D stuff, the Jessel stuff. They're both, again, if you're gonna do it, buy once, cry once, get the T&D, but we'll do it with the Jessels. I don't think that'll be a problem at all. The last piece is the cylinder heads. So we changed it up. The last time we did it with a set of used NASCAR Dart Pro 1 heads, we really splurged this time. These were on the shelf at TKM and didn't have a home, so when Kevin wasn't looking, we just took them. My guy Robbie over there got them all set up, and these have been worked over by TKM like they do with everything. The top fuel hoop, that is a major key to success. This really seals in all the fun, so it doesn't come out the sides. If anything, it'll come out the bottom. For those of you guys that know cars, you know what I'm talking about. You ain't gonna blow a head gasket on this unless your tune-up so bad you torch something. But if you have a catastrophic failure with the top fuel hoops, 9 times out of 10 you can find it in the diaper, not in the top of the head. But yeah, badass, a big old receiver groove. They chamber softened and blended everything in here. Set of titanium and Inconel, right?
Yeah, titanium and Inconel.
So we got the nice stuff. Again, the valves, they were just laying upstairs, so all used stuff. They machined the head to have the O-ring, so no more RTV. That's badass. And then other than that, it's pretty standard. They did a custom spring package on there. It says TKM on all the stuff. They're bad to the bone. The heads are great. These are some LS3 port Mass 295s. So this is actually a better head than what we had previously. So we're making some leaps and bounds here, some upgrades spontaneously. So shout out to Kevin Mullins. No one call TKM and tell him that I stole these because he doesn't know yet. So just let that be, and I won't have to pay for them. Maybe when we get done, if we get done with the record, I'll just put them back on the shelf. No one will know. So that's pretty much the setup. Am I missing anything? I just did a video the other day. We got a new chassis for it. We're doing it in not a Pro Mod S10. Got some turbos from Jose at Force Inductions, twin 88 S450s, so that's massive. Going to be cool. And now we have the motor. So Scott's going to put it together. Very excited about this. We're going to do all the same goodies that we did to it before, as far as the oil pan. We got a Williams Fab oil pan, an AV8 oil pump. We got a Rage fuel pump for it. So it's got all really nice stuff. Oh, I forgot. How could I forget to talk about the star of the show? There's only one way to pull your cam out.
What do you mean by that?
Look at that. The Black Sheep camshaft. This thing right here has laid down a number of ass whoopings. At one time, this was the world's fastest hydraulic roller cam. Now it's the second fastest, but don't worry, we're coming back. We're coming back on top. This thing's badass. Sounds great, runs great. We've made a number of years on this cam with no valve train issue, never really checking the valves or anything like that. So can't speak highly enough on the performance of the camshaft. And most importantly, it sounds good. And I rev the shit out of this all the time because it gets to that one point where it's like, it's just a big ass hydraulic roller cam, so it sounds good. So if you guys are interested in the camshaft, TKM Performance, they keep them in stock. Check them out. They also have a YouTube channel talking about all this stuff, so go over to TKM Performance YouTube channel. And they have a whole lineup of LS camshafts. So if this is a little bit too big for you, you got a stock block deal. You got something with a stock rocker arm or a stock lifter, the Lamb Cam. I highly recommend that. We run that in a number of cars here. But this is the king dingling of their hydraulic roller LS cam lineup. So very excited about this. Shout out to TKM Performance. Can't thank Kevin and all the guys up there enough. They do an absolutely amazing job. Machine work is second to none. Everything they do up there is second to none. Their parts development, product development, all the machine work, the assembly, dynoing, tuning, just selling parts, you name it, they are exceptional at it, and I highly recommend if you guys are in the market of going fast, you check them out. So I guess it's on us now. We're going to put this together, and we'll set it in a truck. We'll put some turbos on it, pump some fuel to it, put a little spark in it, and go out there and set a record. And we're going to talk shit along the whole way. So if you don't like it, I guess there's nothing else you could do but sit back and watch. So there you have it. If you guys don't know, we're giving away a 87 Buick Grand National. Go to lsnasty.com or JustinSwanson from 69.com. We'll see you on the next one.